So I know it's been a while since I've been on here, and I've just had to be in the mood to get back on, and finally have decided to. I had my last visit with my therapist that I had been seeing for close to a year last Wednesday. Been a bit depressed about that. I feeling a little better, I guess, today. Uh, but I got close to her. I felt a lot of empathy from her. I felt like a soul connection to her. Felt like she really cares about me. I have no doubt she did really care about me. And uh, going to talk about the progress, I could not see sometimes the progress I have made over that time. And there has been progress. And in fact, the makeup I'm wearing, she gave me a makeup bag, and I'm very grateful, thankful for that. I thought it was very sweet of her to want to do that. So I'm wearing the makeup out of, except for my blush. I took that from some old stuff I have, but all the other stuff I'm wearing is out of a little cute little makeup bag she gave me. And I like it. I actually am pleased with this. But the progress I made, I just couldn't see it. But when I went into that office last July, I didn't know what was up or down in ways. Deep depression. I still deal with depression. It's not like I'm healed, I'm not healed, but I've made progress from where I was at. I went in there with my hat on, just head hung down, and the first person I saw could only see me every 4 to 6 weeks, and so then I go in and I'm talking to the doctor about hormones because I just don't know what to do. And she introduced me to the therapist, the psychologist I got to see, I would say, for probably the last 11 months. And that was game changing for me. I could tell instantly when I met her, she cared and connected with her. And there was something there. I could feel a feminine energy. I could express myself, and I kind of knew then I'd be able to probably express myself. So I now have come from a point that I guess I couldn't function. I was out of work. I work at an adult store. For any of you who've been watching my videos, you would know that I am at this adult store where I would say the adult store has good and dark. The good being that I had been so burnt out from the tourism industry, from working in a tourist town, from being abused by employers, from the backstabbing, the backbiting. It didn't matter the color, didn't matter the race, didn't matter whether it was male or female. There was abuse from both ends. Different colors, different genders, it didn't matter. Even the gay men could not be trusted in these places. There was always drama. I got severely burned out from all of that. And if I was to go back and try to work in a place like that again, I was going to have to be a fake person like I had always been just to cope. I was not going to be able to express myself. I was not going to be able to feel safe trying to experiment and figure out things about my authenticity, about being authentic and not having to keep hiding myself or feeling like I can't do anything to express myself. And at the adult store, I'm able to do that. 2 women I work with, one is, I think, poly, meaning she has a husband, but then I think she also has a boyfriend. Uh, and then another girl I just trained that's working a few nights a week. I believe she's either bi or lesbian. And then there's my GM who is gay and is married to another man. And I'm able to be who I want to be as far as experimentation. If I want to do things to be more feminine or experiment with myself, I feel safe there. Have I run into a couple of people that are kind of bigoted? Sure, it's going to happen anywhere, but I feel like I have a lot more control in that environment because we make the environment safe for not only us, but for anyone else to come in and be who they are. We try to make people feel safe when they're in there and make them feel comfortable, no matter what they identify as or whatever. So that's the good part of the place. Now, the dark part of the place is that I've had issues with edging before. I've had issues with addiction with corn, with, it used to be really bad, say maybe 5 years ago, where I would release my seed like multiple times a day. Now I haven't released it now in like over 9 months. That's something that I cultivate because I believe it helps my energy. I've seen evidence of this by experimenting with this over the last several years now, I guess. But because I do that, I have a lot of energy in that sense, and I can edge and make myself feel orgasmic and want to do that over and over again through my body. So I've had to battle with that because, not to say it's not a moral judgment, it's just wherever you focus your energy, you're not going to have, doors are going to close to you. If you focus all your energy in certain places, like say something like corn, and that's all you're focusing into a lot, other doors are going to be closed to you. I've seen evidence of this over time, that if there's certain things you just keep focusing on that are causing a negative impact for yourself, you're going to get stuck. Your energy is going to get stuck. So working there, I can be drawn in, like walking past the DVDs and things like that. I can be drawn to the women and I can be drawn in. It's not just a attraction, because I am mostly attracted to women still, but I believe in past lives, and I believe that I was a woman, especially in my immediate past life, and I think that I might have been involved in the adult industry. It's possible. I'm not for certain. I get these feelings though, and I'm drawn to the energy of the whole thing with the women, and also to the ones who have taken them, who I should say unalived, the ones who have unalived. I can be drawn into them too, because I want to know, because I have feelings like that a lot, and I want to know what made them tick, what made them feel that way. And I just can relate to them in a lot of ways, but there's a dark energy around that too. It's not something you want to be constantly focused in on. So working there with the issues of edging, things like that, where I can get stuck in a type of addiction sometimes, there's that dark part of working in a place like that. You have to try to check yourself. So I have to weigh the pros and cons. I don't think it's final destination for me at all. So thing is, when I went to therapy, I really thought I might just need to be on disability, because I was just so far in a hole mentally. I just was not stable at all. I would still not say I'm completely stable, but I'm much better than I was. But I was totally unstable to a point that I thought this, and I could not see at the time that my therapist saw a bigger picture. I really think she saw the bigger picture, that if I was able to cope in a place that was accepting of me, that I was able to be in a place that showed that they were not going to abuse me, and it was a place where I could experiment with my sexuality and my gender, and I could be more authentic. Now I can look back on that and see what she was seeing, what I think she was seeing, which was it would open me up more into regular, what we have to cope with in regular society. It would make me more comfortable in time to be able to do little things here and there, because I don't wear makeup everywhere. This is something I get on here and experiment with more, and especially with what she just gave me. I decided today to finally open that stuff up and get into that. It's better stuff too than what I've had. I've had really cheap stuff from Amazon, what I can afford. You have to start somewhere. So she got me some stuff I believe I can see and believe it's a little bit up from what I had. Definitely. It's definitely up from what I had, and I'm thankful for it, and I can gives me something else to play with. But no, I don't go out in public, but with all of this, because I'm still not comfortable, and I'm still confused with the gender dysphoria, and I'll get more into that, because the other reason I don't get on here, or I haven't been on here as much, is because I'm not going to just get on here to get on here. I just needed some time. I have made a couple of shorts. I'll do that. If I'm feeling the mood, I might put up a short or two. I've done that. But as far as making full videos, but the reason, well, let me go back to the makeup. I wear foundation now out. I do like how it covers my facial shadow more. It smooths it out. I thought I'd be able to totally cover it. I still haven't mastered that yet in public, but I have been able to minimize it more, make my face look smoother. So I'm comfortable with foundation. I wasn't, at first. I wasn't comfortable with anything at first. I didn't know, like I said, what was up or down when I started going to therapy. My therapist had a way of talking to me, and a way of bonding with me, and a way of having a connection. I could connect to her like a woman-to-woman type thing, a femininity type thing. Is the best way I can explain it. Like oftentimes the inner feelings I have, feminine wise, I could connect with her. It's like I could talk in that vocabulary, like openly, and feel totally comfortable with her doing that. I told her some of my darkest things because I felt so comfortable with her. And I don't say that lightly, because I can't do that with just anybody. And I'm going to miss her a lot. That's an understatement, how much I will miss her. Because she cared about me a lot. It makes me sad. But anyway, I'm comfortable. It's still a thing for me to put the makeup on here. I would have never done that in the past. So, it was a gradual thing to where she encouraged me to where I wanted to get back on here on YouTube. Then I felt comfortable. So, you know what? I'm just going to start experimenting on here, and then talk to you all about the gender dysphoria and open up my authenticity even more. So that's all progress. Out in public, wearing the foundation is progress. I've wore perfume at work. I haven't wore it everywhere, but I've worn it at work. I've had more camaraderie with women on a feminine level, and got to see what that's like. I haven't had that before. But now getting into the gender dysphoria, that's been one of the biggest obstacles. So while I've made progress with being able to tolerate a workplace to where I feel more comfortable for the most part, except for, like I said, there is a darker side of it too. I do struggle with a gender dysphoria. I wish I could tell you all that, oh, it's solved and I'm just going to transition and all is going to be hunky-dory and that's the way it is. And that's just not reality for a lot of people. Because what I've come to find is that sometimes I wish that dysphoria was severe, just severe all the time, because I'm sure if it was, then I would just transition. If it was severe, it would be, and stayed severe, I would do that. But it doesn't stay severe. Mine stays more, it can be real strong at times, but it doesn't stay that way. It likes to go back to like a middle ground. Earlier in my life, it was mild for many years. When it's mild like that, you can kind of just brush it off, which is what I did. Now it don't stay mild or that mild, but it stays, a lot of times it can be in a middle ground, and that can make you constantly question, should I transition? Should I not? I question, can I live in an in-between, like androgynous type thing? Can I've learned certain things, like I love my hair. I like wearing foundation. I really don't like facial hair. Sometimes I think I could grow it out, but then I still shave every day. I really don't like body hair, and luckily I don't grow much of it. So there's some things I've learned. I had painted my nails black and then realized it's really kind of a hassle to paint fingernails because I realized how quickly they chip. So, not to say I won't do it again, but they chip fast because I'm always washing my hands and things like that. I do like to grow my nails long, but when they chip, I want to clip them. So I'm finding out things about myself, things I like. And so now it's a question of whether, okay, can I live kind of in an in-between state? Can I find middle ground? Or will there be a point where I want to fully transition? So that's what I go through now. And this was where we were, in the last couple of sessions I have with my therapist, this was something that we touched on, and she said, take it day to day and take it how I feel, be in that moment basically of how I feel. And I need to observe that. I need to make sure I'm really observing that, and go with it as I'm going. And that's where I'm at. I'm trying to make peace with it and just take it day to day. It's really all I know to do. You drive yourself crazy if you don't do it that way. Keep cultivating authenticity and being comfortable. So that's what I'm doing in that area. But when I started therapy last July, I could not say I was bi. I am. Though, like I have stated many times, I would say my woman attraction is still like probably 90%. I can have man attraction. And when I do, it's typically to a really alpha guy that has charisma and a lot of confidence. But I'm still mostly woman attracted. And I haven't been with men, and not to say I won't. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds with anything. That's something else I don't just dwell on. I just don't dwell on it. So anyway, when I first went to therapy, I couldn't admit I was bi. I couldn't immediately come out with these things about myself, and over time I have, and I accept them. I accept these things about myself, and I accept that my gender dysphoria is the way it is. It fluctuates, and transition's a serious thing. And I've said this before, I don't know that you can ever be 100% sure, but I would say it's not something, in my opinion, you take lightly. You shouldn't be taken lightly. It's because you're altering a lot with your body and everything. So the other things that have improved, going back to the job, is that I was in debt, a lot of debt. Now I'm still have credit debt, but I paid off a loan that I had taken out. Recently did that. I am almost completely caught up. I was months behind, like months where I was behind on my rent, where I was paying it late every month. Probably 7 or 8 months in a row like that. I have a great landlord that's very understanding of me, very, very kind. I've gotten that caught up in the hole I was in, paid off this loan. I'm still paying off some credit debt, but I'm back. And I'm really not making the most money. I'm fortunate. I live in a cheap place. I've lived for years, and I own my car, and I have low bills in general. I don't have children. I'm not married. There's just a lot of things for me at almost 50 that a lot of people have. I don't. And I've been able to take advantage of that, of my situation in that way, to be able to not have to make a ton of money, and I've managed it to an extent to where I'm still able to pay things, and I've actually caught up on some things. So that's improved. And I don't think I'm going to stay at the adult store forever. I think it's a stepping stone. Like I said, my therapist saw a larger picture. She sees my creativity. She saw that. She saw my intellect, and I think she saw there's more, but I was going to have to get myself back out there. And she had a way of just being able to do it in such a kind way, of plodding me along, of taking any little thing that I had improved on and making sure she told me about it, and applauding me on little things, and reminding me of my progress, and complimenting me on little things that she saw as improvements, and caring, and that just, it's an understatement to tell you how far all that can go with somebody. She's a mentor, and I think she's going to help a lot of people. I left her a note when I left, and I remember saying that in the note, that she's definitely going to help a lot of people. I just believe, because she's just good at what she does. Now, I don't go back to therapy until, it was going to be 5 weeks, but they scheduled a check-in appointment with me with somebody I'll see one time in like 4 weeks, and then the new therapist that will be in the office there, she will start seeing me, and I don't know how that's going to go. I have to give someone a chance, though. I don't know her, not met her. So in 4 weeks, I'll see somebody for a checkup, kind of a check-in, and then I'll start seeing the new therapist that's going to be there at the end of the month, basically. And I do think I do need to be keep going, try to build on my progress. But I've just realized there's so much to build upon, really, from all the therapy I've already had. There's a lot there I've had to process and realize, hey, there's a lot to build on here. And some of my creative mind has come back. It's coming back slowly. I've went back out and ran again. I wasn't running. I've went back out and exercised. I've dropped a little bit of weight. I couldn't do that forever. I want to be smaller, but not that I'm really big. I'm not, but I want to be smaller. And I've dropped probably 4 pounds, but I was staying stationary. So now I'm getting back. That's improving for me too, where some of my goals, I want to lose more weight. I want to be more active. So I got out there running. I might would want to do yoga or something else. I don't know. But I'm trying to get myself, I'm just trying to keep my energy cleaner too. That's another goal. Not to fall into the edging thing all the time. And another dark side of the adult store is like sometimes they give us free stuff. So we'll have a meeting and like they ended up giving me like a toy basically. That could have been a big trap for me because yeah, I ended up experimenting with a toy and could have easily become addicted to that. I'll be honest, I threw it away because I knew I'd be addicted to it. I don't want to go down that road. I see guys come in there and they're addicted to that stuff. It's not that, I'm not judging people. We all have vices. I mean, we're just not perfect. None of us are perfect. But I see it and I get sad for some of them sometimes because you can tell it's like they're just collecting these things and all this stuff, and it's just their world. And there's just so much to life. I feel like there's so much to life, so much to us as people, as human beings, so much to our souls, so much creativity, so many things we can experience and do. So I'm just trying to keep my energy cleaner because I know from my own experiences with paranormal things and spiritual things that I've experienced things on a level that I know that when your energy is cleaner, your vibration is higher, and that opens up more doors, opens up more possibilities for better things, for bigger things. It can, if you can keep it, if you can keep your energy cleaner to where those doors can open, it can motivate you. It can really motivate you into other areas of life and not being in a stagnant, stuck, low vibrational way of things. That's the best way I can explain it, because to be honest, most people would not even know what I'm talking about. It's something you have to experience through meditation, through researching spiritual stuff. It's a deep subject. Paranormal things, I've talked about it on this channel. If there are different videos on here where I have talked about experiences I've been through that have shaped me in ways. I've gotten away from those things at times, but then I go back. I've had to, I'm not religious. I don't believe I'm not dogmatic, but I do believe in past lives. I do believe in how I believe energy shapes things, and high vibration works better for us if we can be in a higher vibration. Easier said than done. I mean, does it mean because you know these things or have experienced these things that you're just a guru now and that's it? No, it doesn't. If you have, like me, where I've had almost lifelong depression, I've been diagnosed bipolar before, or I've had addiction issues myself before with alcohol. I've had some drinks recently. I just haven't let myself, I've had some beers recently to take off an edge, but I haven't just gotten drunk. I try to refrain from that. But I guess what I'm saying is I've had addiction. I've had times in my life where I would drink where I'd have total blackouts where I could have passed away. I've had the addiction with corn. I've had these things. Those things don't just go away because you're aware, self-aware, or because you know about vibration and what that can do, or you know about how timelines in your life can change. So that can be a deep subject too, how timelines can shift when your vibration changes. Doesn't mean though that the depression and the struggles you've had go away. They still taunt you, and they can still drag you right back down into a ditch. And it's happened to me. It's been a back and forth battle. That's where I've progressed too through the therapy. It's made me, because she had a bigger vision of me and has encouraged me the way she did, and would take the little battles I would win and tell me how good they were. It's made me be able to have hope again and be able to somewhat function again to where I can get stronger. There's a possibility of me being able to do more. That's the power of therapy. So I would encourage you, if you are in a way that you feel like you don't want to be here anymore, you go through those thoughts all the time, you're in a deep depression all the time, maybe you have been burned out from workplaces where they're totally abusive, and I'm sure it's like this in many places around the world. I just can speak for America. It can be awful, the way workplaces do people in this country. I mean, we rely on the grace of workplaces to be kind to us here, in my opinion, because they're not very regulated. They get away with a lot, even though there's technically laws against sexism and bigotry and all that. They do it. It happens all the time. I mean, I've been right there in the middle of it in many jobs. Misogyny, all this stuff happens. It just happens all the time. And the workplaces here, they just they get away with a lot. They get away with I mean, our minimum wage in our country is $7.50. I believe it's still $7.50, and not that I know of any places still paying that, but they can technically. Companies in our country, they don't have to give you health care, they don't have to give you vacation, they don't have to give you jack. And they don't. A lot of them don't. I mean, where I work, they don't. You know, it's I don't have health care, but that's a whole nother subject. I believe healthcare in our country is a scam, largely. I mean, it's mostly, that's another story too, something you can research if you don't know much about, if you're not in America and don't know much about our healthcare system. But anyway, I just had to reflect, self-reflection, and realize that much had improved for me. More than I had thought. And yes, again, am I sad that I lost my therapist? Yes, life has to go on. People move on. People have other things that happen in their lives. Something I know at almost 52, life constantly changes. People can come in and out of your life. And sometimes some people need to come into your life, like she needed to come into my life. And then other people need to leave your life. Or you need to leave their lives, because there's also the toxic people. There's people out there that think it's wrong if they cut people out of their life. If they're toxic for you, they're bringing you down, they live in social constructs or you can look at their life and see how incredibly toxic they are, but they're trying to preach something to you. There's several reasons why you might cut somebody out of your life. And I mean, just to have friends is just BS. I mean, having quality friends, yes. Now, what do I have? I have 3 girlfriends. And I don't mean like relationships or anything. I mean, you know, lady friends. Because I'm comfortable. I think it's because I'm more comfortable with women. The people I've cut out of my life, I would say I never had a ton of friends, really, truly, in my life. When I look back, people I thought were friends. But now, I mean, in recent years, I've cut men out of my life. They were the ones that I'm thinking of right now, were long-term friends, too. They were just toxic. Now I have 3 lady friends. And we talk off and on. So I'm comfortable with that. And they're supportive. You know, that's the important thing. They're different ages too. They're not in the same age groups. Thing is, with age for me, I generally am a youthful person. I like to be that way. Uh, it's how I feel. Age, to me, it's a number. I mean, as we age, do things happen? Can things become more challenging for us as we age? They can. We can't control everything. But there are some things in your control, like exercise, like not overindulging in crap that you eat. Take things in moderation. I don't think alcohol is totally bad, but try not to overindulge. Same thing. Do I think, honestly, do I think edging is totally bad? No. If you can do it here and there and stop, fine. I just don't. It's like anything else. If you do it all the time, it's going to drag you down. You'll get addicted. You can get addicted to TV, video games. If that's all you do, that's where your energy is all going to be spent. So it's like, moderation with a lot of things. But aging, there are some things that can be controlled. Obviously, if you do certain things, you're going to age more. So, but if you exercise, if you at least try to eat some decent stuff. I don't smoke. I've never, I tried it one time, and luckily I thought it was disgusting. I think that has a huge impact on people and ages them a lot. I've seen it with my own parents. So it's just, there's certain things we can control. Some things happen out of our control no matter what. But I just think you're in better condition if you try to do some things to try to take care of yourself. And somehow I've managed to even do that through deep depressions. I've somehow managed to try to not let myself completely go. And that can be tough. So I guess with the end of all of this, maybe getting to the end of all of this, do I still struggle with depression? Yes. Even being aware of energy and vibration and all that, yes, you still will struggle. Do I still struggle with unaliving feelings? Yes, I do. But I've also see all the improvements I made. And I feel like what you have to do every day is try to meditate, maybe have a few moments of silence, if you can do that. Try to keep your energy, do something to clean up your energy each day if possible. I'm not saying I am able to do this all the time. I'm saying these are the things I'm also trying to work on. These are ideas I have for myself, so I'm also throwing them out there for you all, that these are things that I know if I can build upon, I do believe things will get even better. Because once I looked back and said, oh wow, you've about got caught up on you've gotten caught up on some bills, got caught up on your rent, you've had these positive things happen, you know more of who you are as a person, you're coping a little bit better with your gender dysphoria, these are all wins for me. And whatever you're going through, guys, I mean, you can get through it. You can, but again, I'm just going to say therapy, if you're really in a bad way, you're dealing with any kind of mental illness, life seems like you just can't cope with it. If you can get into therapy somehow, I would encourage it. So with that being said, I guess I'm going to go for now, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.